Buckle the F up, buttercups. I am finally going to do a walkthrough explanation of everything I did to create this masterpiece. Ooh, go away, fly. Alright, first thing I did was I made a granny stitch octagon, which is just like a granny square with the granny stitch, which is the 3 double crochets in the same spot, right? Except instead of 4 sides or 6 sides like you do on a granny hexagon, I did 8 sides to make an octagon. Octagon, get it? 8 sides. Okay, so I did that first. And I just kept going and going and going and going. And I did enough rows until I got to here, which was wide enough for my hips, waist, or whatever, but also wide enough for my big old thunder thighs to fit into, which I love dearly. There's nothing wrong with thunder thighs. I think that they're glorious. After that, I realized, oh, well, look, there's a hair there. The waist is big enough. But guess what? I had to add more because the thighs were not big enough. So I went on each side and I added 2 more rows on each side of the side. I do have a tutorial on how to make an octagon and how to sew it up. It is near the top of my page and it's in the crochet tutorials playlist on my page. And then I joined them together on the sides. That was just to make the leg holes bigger. But again, the length was only to about here, to like the midway of the pink. I wanted a thicker pink stripe though. So after I sewed them together on each side after adding extra rows, as you can see, there's the seam right there. Then I joined in with some more pink because I wanted it to be longer. And I worked in the round, doing the granny stitch until I got to the length that I wanted. And then I got this super awesome loops and threads limeade color green. That is my favorite color green. And I decided to go with these like kind of tight ankle spots to make them kind of like joggers because I just like that look. Like it just looks cool to me. After I got the pant legs done and I color changed to make each stripe the same on each side ish, I came up to the top and I started doing a row of double crochets, and then I did every other double crochet on the next row in as a front post double crochet to give that like ribbed effect that you can see here. See those like right there? I guess my birds like this little video I'm making. Hello, birds. Anyway, then I chained, I believe, 200. I do have a video showing me do that as well. Okay, now that I got the hair off. And then I just weaved it through, like you can see here, behind in front of, behind in front of, behind in front of, until I got all the way around. I started in the middle, went all the way around, ended here, made sure it was even so I could tie it in a knot. Or a bow, I guess. Then after I did that, I joined in. I made sure and counted all the way around my stitches, found the center, and I counted how far over I wanted the bib to start on each side, and I determined where each side would start. Joshua, can you please stop? Hank, tell him to stop, please. Okay, so once I found where each side was going to start, or where's the center and how wide I wanted the bib to be, I put a stitch marker on each side so I wouldn't lose it, and I chained up and started doing just 2 double crochets in every other spot to make it look like this. I want it to be a little bit differently. And I made sure that every other row had the same amount so that it would stay straight. That was hard. Now this bib part, Josh, it could be made if you wanted to do any stitch just back and forth to make a rectangle as tall as you want it to be. I wanted mine really loose and big and to have a lot of coverage for just in case, because I wanted it to be nice and slouchy and comfortable. Then I chose my favorite granny square to make, the Granny's Eye granny square from A Woman Walking a Wire, and I modified it slightly and turned it into a flower. And then I actually lined it with some wonderful fabric that I got from Michaels, and then I sewed it together on my sewing machine. I'm really bad at that. I didn't change out the thread from black, and then I did it again with white, and I messed up. But you know what? From afar, you can't even see it, right? And even up close, it's really not that bad. Hank, you're not in this video today. You're not the star. Okay, after I did that, I took this beautiful green again as my border, and I went all the way around. All the way around, right? Then I made my straps. I actually made them separately, and then I just sewed them on. And you can do straps however you want. If you want to do single crochets, or really whatever kind of stitch you want to do for your straps. I did this Tunisian crochet leaf thing garland that I got from Be Unique Designs, or I'm sorry, I always forget her name because it's long. Laura made this on a video, and I will tag her in the comments. I swear every time I stop recording, he stops barking, and then I hit record again and he starts barking again. Anyway, then I made sure and added 3 loops so I can put it around the buttons that I wanted to do. I sewed the buttons on with this super nice neon green embroidery thread, floss, whatever, and I made it to where the buttons worked for me. The last thing I did was make the pockets. I actually started out making them this way, and I realized they were too wide, so I decided to stop and make them long ways, and I sewed them on. And you guys, I did pin them on I made my sweet husband put them on, and then I pinned them where I wanted them to sit, and then I took them off of him and I sewed it together under my sewing machine. You can kind of see how I did that there. I did that like zigzaggy stitch. And honestly, when I'm wearing it, as you can see in my other videos, they look really even, and I really like the way that they look. They're a nice deep pocket. I decided to go on the sides because my sweet follower friend Amanda made that suggestion, and I really liked the way it looked. And yes, I realized that the square of blue and green in the middle of the crotch is awkward looking, but when it's on and my nice plump thighs just fill it up, it looks a lot smaller, and it's not that bad. No one says anything about it in person, and I love them. And I hope that this helps. If you have any questions about what else I did, I mean, I'd explained everything. So I hope that this will suffice for wanting a pattern, because I didn't write any of it down, and I feel like everyone should just give it a shot free-handed, something like this. However, I do have tutorials on how to make a granny hexagon, how to make a granny square. All you have to do is just add more sides to get the right number of sides. This one's 8 sides. You can make it into shorts. I show how to fold it on a video too on my tutorials playlist. Please check it out. And please don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and please give me a follow, because I love what I do and I love sharing tips and knowledge, and I like interacting with all of you and meeting new crochet friends. And if you have anything negative to say, honestly, I'm just going to start deleting it from now on, because I don't have time for that. Happy yarning, y'all!